get down to the New York Stock Exchange. Jim Cramer joins us now. Tired of asking you about what new highs mean, Jim. That says something that every time you come on, I'm asking about new highs. You got a new story?
Well, I just think this Goldman Sachs quarter was really better than expected. I think investment banking was the force. But what I really like about it is the recurring revenue here is incredibly strong. You know, we're going away from an episodic model for Goldman, going into a model that I think can really be get a price earnings ratio. Remember, they were the lowest PE coming into this group. A tangible book is over 200. They've really started to return a lot of capital. That's the one I feel the best about today. I have to say that I do like Citi. I think it's terrific. The most important one, bizarrely, is J.B. Hunt, which told you that, look, trucking is very good. You put trucking good with what Steve Leisman said this morning about retail good, with all the credit card numbers I see from every single company, although I can't believe how big this Apple card is going to be with Goldman. And you say, you know what, the consumer's great, industrial not great. And we have to decide how much the industrial economy matters to the Fed. I think it's significant enough they can still cut rates.
What about FANG? Where should we worry, or should we worry?
Well, you know, they're picking at FANG. I mean, I think Marcus has a very good Libra story, but obviously red-hot griddle to have both Democrats and Republicans unite on something not so great. I think that Peter Thiel can make a lot of noise for Google. When you call someone treasonous, you don't just walk away from that. Amazon, it may have been so good that people are going to be angry at it. Netflix did have some good news today in terms of a really positive report about how they're going to have much better setups. But it's FANG's not it. We can't play FANG. As I said last night on Mad Money, FANG is the most toxic right now, and we have to play through it. I think Marcus does a good job, but holy cow, I've never seen the Democrats and Republicans more united on something I actually think is good.
You're a Libra fan, Jim?
Look, as a rich person, I could go to Goldman and put together Libra, but how about as a poor person? Forget about it. I mean, this is about unbanked, but they position this totally wrong. Marcus better come through with what I just said. He's got to change the dialogue. He's got to talk about how rich people can have Libra, but how about poor people? And why he doesn't say that, kind of, I think, is because he's from PayPal, not from Goldman.
And I know you're saying that you think all these companies are toxic, but Google has long been considered almost a value play for some people, given sort of where its stock is traded. You then see the president tweet. You then see the president this morning saying that he wants to look into what Peter Thiel's talking about.
Well, that's the problem. I think Google's going to have the best. Apple's going to have the best upside surprise. But you know, when you call someone treason, are they the Rosenbergs? Treason is high crime.
Yeah.
It's not a misdemeanor.
It's used a lot in the last year. I've heard it used an awful lot, especially on Twitter. What about
I'm not crazy about someone saying somebody's treasonous. I mean, but Peter Thiel's got enough money to say whatever he wants. But that's a hard charge. Maybe they don't have the right controls, but treason.
I was trying to figure out how to make any sense of it, Jim. And look, if you kind of use it through the same lens of Huawei, saying we don't know of any times it's been abused yet, but the way that it's designed and the way the Chinese government has to have all control and able to get into these things. I was trying to back it up that way, maybe.
Yeah, well, it is in the charter. I mean, if you were a communist company, you have to work for the communist government. Well, but my biggest problem here is that I want him to name names. Now, I mean, he's Senator McCarthy right now. And I want to know how many card-carrying Chinese communists work at Google. And I don't want it to come from 57 like it's the Manchurian Candidate. And it's the bottle of Heinz.
Right. Well, treason, it's word inflation. I mean, how many times treason was used during the Russian collusion story? Thousands of times. What about
I know.
That's when you start using it. It doesn't mean
if
anything.
we're going Senator McCarthy, I'd like to know. I want names.
Right.
I want to know which people were in Google work.
We had Leader McCarthy.
It's the State Department in the 50s.
We had Congressman McCarthy on. We didn't have it.
Yeah,
the other guy was unavailable.
Do we need Army Thiel hearings? I'm ready. Where's Welsh? I know where Roy Cohn is.
How's the outlook going to be for all these companies, Jim? And is it more important than the results themselves?
I think the outlook's good. I think the Fed still cuts. I haven't seen any really bad numbers. The weakest is J.P. Morgan. They still have a very good yield. I like a lot of J.P. Morgan, but it's obviously the worst in show versus, say, Citi. Wells Fargo is just, I don't know. If they got a CEO, it would really be helpful. I always find that companies that are run by CEOs, they're better than companies that don't have CEOs. It's just, I don't know, it's just my predilection. Again, I want names. If Peter Thiel names names, then I got to, and I'm not talking about Lillian Hellman and Sterling Hayden, okay? I want to know who. Who does he know works for the Chinese Communist Party? Because if you say something's treason, I would like to have Thiel hearings, and I want a House Un-American Activities Committee. If that's the way we're going, bring it on. That is not the finest hour of this country.